They called him a thug, until the truth made him a hero. Before we begin, take a deep breath. What you're about to hear is not just a story, it's a reflection of what happens when truth meets power and courage stands against corruption. If you believe every voice deserves to be heard, every struggle deserves to be seen, then pause for a moment and click subscribe. Join us in telling stories that the world tries to silence. White right pointing backhand index. Subscribe now at the Untold struggles. It was a humid Thursday evening in Atlanta, the kind where the air clings to your skin like guilt. 18-year-old Malik Johnson had just finished his after-school robotics shift at the local youth center. His backpack was heavy with metal scraps and notebook sketches, but his heart was light. He'd just gotten word that his science project had made the state finals. He was walking home, hoodie up, earbuds in, music low enough to hear the crickets and traffic hum. That's when the blue and red lights flared behind him. "Hey!" A voice barked through the static. "Hands out of your pockets, now!" Malik froze. His stomach dropped. He turned slowly, just like his mom always told him. The officer, Deputy Ray Halford, was tall, square-jawed, and wore the kind of smirk that said he enjoyed moments like this. "Where you headed, son?" he asked, flashlight beaming into Malik's face. "Home, sir," Malik replied, voice steady. "Where's home?" "Just 2 blocks up, 4th and Maple." Halford squinted, stepping closer. "You live here? In that neighborhood?" Malik hesitated. "Yes, sir." "Uh-huh." Halford circled him like a shark. "You fit the description." Malik's heart skipped. Description of who? The officer didn't answer. He reached for Malik's backpack. "Sir, that's my..." "Quiet." Halford snapped. "You think I don't know your type? Hood up, bag full of something, walking after dark. You people never learn." "You people." The words burned deeper than the heat. Halford unzipped the bag and pulled out a small circuit board. "What's this, huh? Looks like drug paraphernalia to me." Malik's voice trembled. It's part of a robotics project, sir. I'm competing in." "Save it," Halford cut him off. "Turn around. Hands behind your back." The click of handcuffs echoed in the night. Malik felt the cold metal bite into his wrists as a single thought screamed in his mind. Not again. Not me. The police report said suspicious individual resisting detainment. The local news ran a 20-second segment showing Malik's mugshot, not his robotics trophy, not his scholarship letter. His mother, Ray Johnson, sat in the courtroom the next morning, trembling. She worked double shifts as a nurse, but none of that mattered here. Halford stood tall in uniform, every word polished, rehearsed. He reached for something in his pocket, appeared to resist commands, and I feared for my safety. Malik whispered to his public defender, "That's a lie." But the lawyer didn't look up. "Stay calm. Don't react." The judge, an older man with silver glasses, sighed. "Case will proceed to preliminary hearing. Bail set at $5,000. Renee gasped. "5,000? For what?" Halford smirked, arms folded. "For keeping the street safe." Malik was taken away in cuffs again. As he passed by, he caught Halford's whisper. "Should have just stayed in your place." This is where so many stories end. But Malik's, his was only beginning. If you believe truth deserves its day in court, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what happens next will make your heart race. White right pointing backhand index. Subscribe here at the Untold struggles. 2 days later, a video surfaced online. Shaky, grainy, filmed from a cracked phone, but clear enough to change everything. A neighbor, Mrs. Castillo, had been sitting on her porch when she saw the encounter. She posted the clip to Facebook with one line. "He never resisted." In the video, Malik stands still, hands visible. Then, Halford reaches for his bag, yanks it open, and finds the circuit board. But then, something else. The video catches Halford slipping something small into the backpack just before radioing for backup. The internet exploded. Hashtag Justice for Malik began trending overnight. People started asking questions, uncomfortable ones. At the next hearing, Malik's lawyer played the video in court. The room fell silent. Halford's jaw tensed. That video is taken out of context. But the prosecutor's tone changed. Out of context or not, The jury will decide. The courtroom was packed. Reporters, activists, quiet neighbors who'd once looked away, all now staring at a boy who refused to break. Malik wore a suit borrowed from his pastor. He looked smaller in it, but his eyes carried something powerful, truth unshaken. The prosecution began. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just about one arrest. This is about an officer who abused his power. Halford's defense lawyer barked back. My client acted with restraint. He found an object consistent with narcotics tools. Malik rose when called. His voice shook, but never faltered. I'm not perfect, but I know right from wrong. That night, I was walking home, not from a crime, but from hope. I want to be an engineer. I build things. But that night, I learned some people only know how to destroy. Silence. Then, from the jury box, a single tear rolled down a woman's cheek. 2 weeks of testimony, 3 days of deliberation, and one moment that silenced the state. On the charge of evidence tampering, we find the defendant, Officer Ray Halford, guilty. The room erupted. Malik's mother sobbed. Malik just stared at the ground, whispering, "Thank you, God." Halford didn't move. His face turned pale as a reporter's camera flashed. But what happened next? No one saw coming. The judge cleared his throat. However, this court has also received a new submission, a second video, discovered last night. The courtroom buzzed. Halford looked confused. What second video? The judge nodded to the clerk, who hit play. On the screen, a body cam feed. Halford wasn't alone that night. Another officer, unseen in the viral clip, stood in the shadows, whispering orders. Go ahead, plant it. He fits the profile. We'll call it probable cause. The crowd gasped. The clip ended with static. The judge's gavel slammed down. This court is now investigating a larger conspiracy. Malik's mother turned to him, eyes wide. Baby, this goes higher. 3 weeks later, Malik sat in a small diner with his lawyer. Outside, reporters camped by the windows, hungry for quotes. You changed things, Malik, his lawyer said. You made them look. Malik nodded quietly. Then why do I feel like it's not over? The lawyer sighed. Because it's not. The officer's partner? He vanished. The department's missing the body cam. Across the street, a black SUV idled. Windows tinted. Inside, someone was watching Malik. A man in a dark suit, badge clipped low on his belt, spoke into a radio. He's gaining too much attention. Orders are to contain this quietly. The SUV rolled away. Back inside, Malik's phone buzzed, an anonymous text. You exposed one. But you don't know the rest. Don't stop now. He looked out the window, rain starting to fall, a reflection of his own storm. The camera pans up. Thunder rolls in the distance. The truth has only begun to unfold. Sometimes, justice isn't handed to you. You have to fight for it. If Malik's story moved you, don't let it fade away. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Untold Struggles, because the fight for truth continues. White right pointing backhand index, subscribe now.